Hey VC, how's it going? Uh, been really busy lately, but finally have a moment to show off my awesome record finds. I got a pretty big stack. But real quick, before this video starts, if you could just fill out this survey that I put in my description. It's not really even a survey, it's just a question. It's for a project that I'm working on for uh, college stuff. So that would help me a lot. Um, and yeah, we'll just get started right away. And forgive me for my little 3 week break. I'll make it up to you by showing you a really cool record right off the bat. Laclav. This is like a sort of jazz, Latin type record. This is a white label promo. I found this in an antique store. I had no idea what it was. It just looked pretty cool. Saw it was a white label promo, so looked it up on my phone, and my jaw kind of dropped at the price this record goes for. This is a big band. There's like 9 members or something. I think some of them are from Mexico, but the band was based in California. Released one album, and then we're done. This is not the cleanest copy in the world by any means. It's actually got a pretty nasty mark that causes some rotating noise. But really not too bad. And definitely worth it for the pretty insanely cheap price I paid. What's that, DJ sticker? Yeah, this thing is like loaded with samples, I'm pretty sure, and that's kind of a lot of the draw to it. But this has been sampled so many times. But this is a really good record, and it's really cool. I love this album cover, and yeah, definitely gonna put that one on more. Moving on, some more sort of funk soul type deal things. This is Flying Start by the Blackbirds. I think another one that's littered with samples. But this is a great record, and it's cheap. Like this, you can get this for like 15 bucks or less. And this is a great funk record. Really enjoyed this one. And then this one was a really, really cool find. So this was in like this $3 bin at the same antique store that I bought the Laclav record from. This was a complete blind buy, but it was $3. So I said, why not? And it was on some weird record label, and it just looked really good. This is Thelma Houston and Pressure Cooker. I've got the music in me, and my God, is this a great record. It's on this Sheffield Lab label, and this is a direct-to-disc recording. So basically, they record the music in the studio straight onto the lacquer. So they do the entire side in one take, which is really impressive. And you gotta like, it's really tedious, and you have to like mix it like perfectly. Like you have to mix it live because it's going right onto the lacquer, and I think that's so cool. But basically, what that does is it eliminates any tapes. So you're like, cut to the lacquer, which is put on the stamper, which is pressed to the thing. So it's like you're like 2 steps away from the band, and oh my God, does this sound fantastic! This is an incredible sounding record. Yeah, they put this in the $3 bin because they said it was in bad condition, and it's in pretty dang good shape. Like there's nothing really wrong with it at all. This is an incredible, soulful, funky record. Starts over with "I've Got the Music in Me." This is a great track. There's just so much good stuff going on. This is a huge band too, by the way. Like there's like probably 15 people on here, but you got keyboards, guitars, bass, trumpets, trombones, all that stuff. But this is just incredible, and I think this is like a $20 record, and it's just so worth it for that price. It's just so good. I really, really love this record. This is like of my highest recommendation right now, and I just think it's so cool how they recorded this, and it's a very interesting Wikipedia article read. So yeah, just really cool. This next one, this record is one of my absolute favorite albums of all time. Now, if you go back to one of my videos a while ago, like years ago, you would see that I kind of did not say the nicest thing about this band. Um, but since then, this just completely changed. This is an original mono US Scranton press of Pet Sounds, and a pretty dang nice copy at that. I did pay up a little for it, but this is a record that is just so special to me now. I mean, it's just really perfection. I don't know how like this record did not get me on the first listen. I did not get it. I really didn't understand it. But the more you hear it, it just is so beautiful. Like the most gorgeous arrangements and lyrics and harmonies and all that stuff. But yeah, really, really nice original copy. Definitely got a good deal on it, but definitely paid up a little for it. But look at that vinyl. There is some marks on side 2, unfortunately. I don't know if you can see them. But side 1 is like perfect. It's just unfortunate that it's got those couple of marks, which I didn't really see when I was buying it, to be honest, which that might have deterred me from buying it at the price point it was, but I'm glad I bought it because it plays great, and this is just such an amazing record. I'm sure you all know about it, but yeah, I rarely ever come across original pressings of Pet Sounds. The mono and the duophonic, I never see them. This pressing sounds okay. You know, it's not mind blowing, but it's not bad. I know some people, these Capitol pressings are not great or whatever, but you know, they're pretty good. It sounds pretty good to me, but yeah, this is just one of my favorite records of all time now, and it's just so cool to have an original press. And now we're gonna move more towards the rockin' direction. Just real quickly, Freeze, Fire, and Water. I've probably shown this record a couple times because I keep getting upgrades, but this is a pretty dang nice original press. Really cool, but the real cool one is another one I already have actually. But went to this antique store and this booth was like crazy, like just really good stuff for super cheap. Yeah, Freeze self-titled second record actually. I do own a white label promo of this, which I'm gonna have to compare condition wise because I think the white label promo is in a little bit worse shape than this, but like it's just so cool. Like I'm not sure. I'm not gonna keep both, but one's gonna go. It's probably gonna be this one. But this is a pretty nice copy, and super good deal. This is a fantastic blues record. It's more than that. It's more than just a blues record. These great songs. I'll Be Creepin', Songs of Yesterday, Trouble on Double Time. That's just the first side. Incredible stuff. And it's like got these. It's interspersed or whatever with these like sort of slower, more acoustic tracks, and it's just so good. This is just one of my favorite blues records of all time, and might be my favorite free record. But don't quote me on that because they're just such a great group. I love all their stuff. This next one, this was $6 at that booth. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to show came from the same booth at this antique store that was just literally in the middle of nowhere, which for some reason is where I find all my great stuff. This is Rare Earth Dreams and Answers, and this was $6, which is pretty cool. It's an original pressing on Verve. This is the same Rare Earth as the one you're thinking of, and this is their first record, and apparently it did not sell too well, but I really enjoyed this record. it's classified on Discogs as like psychedelic rock, funk, soul, whatever. Um, there's definitely some psych moments on here that are really good. It opens up with "Stop" slash "Where Did Our Love Go," which is like covers, and it kind of sounds like Vanilla Fudge in a way. There's some great like funk tracks on here, like I guess not so much funk, but like soulful tracks. And yeah, there's some really good psych tracks on here too. Um, at the moment, I think "Land of Nod" was a pretty good psych song. "Yesterday on Third Avenue." I would have to go back through this one. Um, yeah, I've just been pretty busy, but this is not a bad copy at all. Plays great. Really cool. Super, super happy to pick that up for cheap. I knew I would get it for cheap because, like, people probably see, oh, it's rare earth, it's a $5 record or $3 record or whatever, but actually, this one is like a $30 record. Uh, so pretty cool. I've never seen it before, so happy to pick up on that. This is one that was pretty good. I enjoyed this record and got it for really cheap again from the same place. Trapeze. This is a repress, but it's in like near mint condition. Trapeze was a band from England, and they're on the Moody Blues Threshold label. And this was produced by John Lodge, I believe, who is the bass player for the Moody Blues. But this is really solid hard rock, psychedelic a little bit, classic rock vein. I would say that some of the songwriting doesn't hold up as much, but I really like Giant's Dead was a good track, and then the fairy tale sort of suite was pretty good, and Suicide was a really good track. I really liked that one. But there's great like heavy distorted guitars solos on here, and this is a really cool album cover. I really like it, and yeah, it's a pretty good record. If you see a cheap copy, I'd recommend picking this up because I enjoyed it. All right, next we got a really cool one. This one came from a different antique store, but just to find this record in an antique store in like rural Pennsylvania is just so weird. Like I don't understand what this was doing here, but yeah, I did find it. Pig, original first album. This is a Japanese pressing, first Japanese press. And this is a Japanese band, and the lyrics are all sung in Japanese and all that. But it's kind of psychedelic, folky hard rock, if that makes sense. Cool music. Really, really dug it. And I have to say, I think this is the best gimmick cover I've ever come across. Ever. Um, I didn't know it came in this gimmicky type thing, but yeah, it says push here, and I was like, oh, what's that? And I tried to push it, and nothing was happening, but actually, it oinks. The pig oinks. Come on. That's so cool. I wonder how expensive that was, but it's really, really thick gatefold sleeve. Like, this is like the thickest single record gatefold sleeve out there, probably. But yeah, this is a really cool record. It's got a couple of members that were associated with like the group sound sort of scene. I'm not so familiar with Japanese genres and stuff, but I know that was sort of like a kind of psychedelic, like beat music, I believe. I might be totally butchering that. But yeah, this is a pretty clean original Japanese press, and I just found it in an antique store. Like, what are the odds? Really, really cool. It doesn't have the OB or the inserts or any of that stuff, but I really don't mind. It's just such a cool record, and another one that I'm gonna have to familiarize myself with more, but really good stuff. This next one came from eBay, but it was so cheap. Like, I only buy something online if it's like 50% or less of the price of what it goes for. And this one came up and was really cheap. I'm pretty sure Psychedelic just got a copy of this also. The Fort Mudge Memorial Dump. This is a really good psych record. I actually really enjoyed this record. I could skip a few of like the more bluesy numbers. I think that's what Psychedelic said too. But it opens up pretty strong, and there's some great heavy guitar on this record. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be sort of in that heavier realm in terms of the guitar, but there's a lot of really good stuff going on side two. This is a great late night spin. Weirdly, they kind of remind me of the Shocking Blue. I don't know if they've gotten that comparison too often, but the singer kind of sounds like the lead singer for the Shocking Blue. And yeah, this is a female-led sort of kind of group, just a female singer. She's featured on most of the tracks, and there's a couple tracks where with a male singer, but I definitely prefer the ones that she sings on. She's got a pretty good voice, and yeah, this is a really cool record. Someone in the Discogs reviews was putting this up as one of the worst album covers of all time. You know, upon first look, it looks pretty cool, but I kind of get it. It's kind of weird, but yeah, this is a really good psych record. These next few are the final ones that came from that antique store booth that had like the rare earth and trapeze and stuff. And when I pulled these out, I like couldn't believe it. I was like, what in the world? What are these doing here? But we'll start off with a record I already have. But this is an upgrade, which is so sweet. Very happy. Gathering of Promises by Bubble Puppy. This is one of my favorite psych records of all time. Like, this could be top 15. I just love this record so much. Comes right out the gate with Hot Smoke and Sassafras, which is just this killer track. And Todd's Tune, great song. I've Got to Reach You, 7 minutes 40 seconds. Just incredible stuff with great guitars. Lonely to the B-side to Hot Smoke and Sassafras. This is just so good. This is an original press on International Artist, and yeah, in an antique store in Pennsylvania. Why? I don't know, but this is a decent copy. I was actually on the fence about buying this one because it was priced a little bit higher. You know, it was not like this was such a good deal still, but it was a little bit on the more expensive side for a record. But yeah, it's got some scuffs and scratches, but it plays great. Like, my other copy, I'd say it was in like the G plus range. Probably more like a G plus. And it just played fine. It plays amazing. And this copy's more in like the VG range, but plays even a little bit better, you know. It's just a great, amazing, psychedelic, hard rockin' record. And I just love it so much. And it's just a fantastic group. This next one, I saw it, and when I see this one, I always check to see if it's an uncensored copy, which also, apparently, this record can have a uncensored sleeve with a censored disc inside. But I didn't know that when I bought this. So thank God that it is 100% uncensored. Kick Out the Jams by the MC5. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, a lot of the represses that are censored don't have this whole text in here with this sort of nasty word on the over here above their signatures. But yeah, I was like so excited when I saw that, and then I got in the car, and before I could play the record, and I was like, oh shoot, there are censored copies with an uncensored sleeve. I was like, uh-oh, I hope it's a censored copy, because I paid up a little bit for it, but not anywhere near what a censored or uncensored copy goes for. But took it home, threw it on immediately, and I was like jumping for joy when he screamed, "Kick out the jams," and then yeah. But this is a super nice copy. This is like a solid VG plus. Great playing, great looking copy. I was just so thrilled. Like, I was so happy when this was uncensored and just so clean and so cool. This is just so in your face, heavy punk, hard rock. I'm sure you all know this record, but yeah, this is like the beginnings of punk. MC5 and the Stooges were signed on the same day by the same guy, and yeah, rest is history. But yeah, this is a super clean first pressing, uncensored copy. Couldn't be happier with it. And this next one has been on my want list for like 4 years, ever since I started collecting. I believe Noble Records showed this video in like one of his intro to psych videos, I think. But I've never seen this record before, and this copy was $20, and I just said, yeah, this is Blitz, self-titled and original US on Paramount. Yeah, this is just not a record you see ever. Super hard to find, I would say. This is not the cleanest copy, but it plays great and it sounds great. This is a great pressing on a super thin vinyl, but yeah, this is killer. Not a bad second on this record. Just fantastic stuff. It's got this really cool gatefold. Mine's it's a unit pack, sorry. Mine's sort of coming apart. But this is a trio from England, and of course they have their records came out on Vertigo there. And they're super duper collectible and expensive. But Tony Newman on drums, who was in a lot of different bands, but he's a great drummer. And this is just such a good record. Smoking the Day Away is how it opens. It's got that great hard and heavy 60s, 70s psychedelic hard rock. Love it so much. And yeah, just to find a pretty decent copy for $20, I couldn't be happier. Amazing stuff. Super cool. Not on Spotify, but definitely lots of rips on YouTube. And highly recommend this record. Killer stuff. And yeah, that's about it for the LPs, but I did find some pretty cool singles. This is The Garden by The 13th Floor. This is really good. I love this. Like, it's so cool. And yeah, it's unbelievably rare, but found one in an antique store. Didn't know what it was, but it looked cool, and I looked it up, and I was like, wow. And I paid like $10 for it, which is crazy for me for buying a single, but definitely worth it. Definitely recommend checking this song out, The Garden. This is the B-side, but great stuff. And the A-side's pretty good, but my copy's pretty damaged on the A-side, so I haven't really spun it too much, but yeah, that's about it for this video. Sorry for my absence, but life gets in the way sometimes. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.